Okay, you've made it to the final video. Factoring by grouping starts on page 534. I'm just going to go through 4 types because our last one in our notes really is just a review of the universal method, so I will do that quickly. Okay, 4-term polynomials. Let's look at example 1. Okay, what if we had 4n cubed? Oh my goodness. Plus 8n squared minus 5n minus 10. Okay, a 4-term polynomial. First off, let's separate these into 2 groups of 2. So I have this group here, and I have this group here. Okay, let's get the GCFs. In this one, in my first term, I have a 4 as a factor of 4 and 8. I have n to the third and n squared. So I can take a 4n squared. So when I do that, I'm left with n plus 2, right? If I were to distribute, this would become 4n cubed, and this would become 8n squared. So I'm good. Okay? 4n squared times n plus 2. All right. Let's look at my second block. Okay? What can I factor out of negative 5n and negative 10? A negative 5, right? Okay? So minus 5, and I'm left with n plus 2. Right? Is that true? Yeah. Okay? And if I were to redo that, I would have negative 5n and negative 10. Okay, so now I have minus 5 times n plus 2. Oh my goodness. These are the same. So when I get ready to write my double bubbles, one double bubble is what was the same. So n plus 2. My other double bubble is what was on the outside is the distributors. 4n squared minus 5. Okay? Factoring using double bubbles. Okay, let's try another example. I'm going to go to a clean page here. We're still factoring 4-term polynomials. Let's try 5t to the 4th minus, not minus, sorry, plus 20t cubed plus 6t plus 24. Okay? Remember, we're going to break it into 2 groups here. Here's my first group. Merry Christmas. Here's my second group. Okay? In my first group, I'm looking for the GCF. To me, it looks like 5t cubed. That means I'm left with t plus 4. Okay? In my second group, I'm looking for my GCF, and it looks like 6, which means I'm left with t plus 4. My goal is to get these 2 bubbles to be the same, and they are, so that's a good thing. So remember, for my new double bubbles, my first one is the one that's the same, so t plus 4 should be plus 4. My second one is my 2 coefficients, 5t cubed plus 6. Check. Okay? Now we're going to move on to factoring completely. Let's look at example number 2. So I have 12p to the 4th plus 10 p to the third minus 36 p squared minus 30p. Okay? So the first thing I want to do is I want to look for a GCF. I can pull a p out of everything, can't I? All these numbers are even, so let's even do 2p. How about that? Then I'm left with 6p to the third plus 5p to the second minus 18p minus 15. Okay? Now, what do I need to do? I need to break this up into my two parts. Part 1, part 2. Let's see what happens. So here, I can factor out, looks like the only thing I can factor out is a p squared. Okay, so I still have 2p out here. Put this in a bracket here. So I'm going to get p squared times 6 plus 6p, plus 5. Okay? Minus, what's my common factor over here? It's like negative 3. Okay? Which leaves me with 6p plus 5. Because negative 15 divided by negative 3 is positive 5. Phew! I got the same thing. So here's what my final answer is going to look like. 2p times my double bubbles. The one that was the same is 6p plus 5. I guess I don't really have to do brackets, I just did. My other double bubble is, what was the coefficients? P squared minus 3. Okay? That's what it should look like. Factoring a trinomial by grouping, universal method. Go back to your universal notes. Come see me if you have more questions on these as you do your guided practice. Okay, the quick checks are also good to do if you want to do one to make sure you're on the right track.